Welcome now, Chiefs. Jay Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965. Reason I mentioned it so early, these texts are on fire tonight, man, for Dayton. Poor Dayton, man. These texts were just rolling in. Good evening. Chris Nocera with me here tonight, producing the operation. What's going on, Chris? Man, these people are fired up for Dayton, I see.
Yeah, they were real hype for it, for sure.
Yeah, I like hearing it. I mean, you want a player's perspective. That's what I like about Dayton. I love that show, The Players Only, because he was there. He understands it, especially when he's talking about guys going from that kind of journey, playing that many games through the postseason to the Super Bowl. But, yeah, Chiefs aren't exactly where we want them to be at this point. I know Chris has been a lifelong Chiefs fan. I've been one too. Chris does the Character Concerns podcast with the NFL Draft show for Kansas City. Put one out this week as well, as we do pretty much each and every week. Take a little time off here and there in the summertime, but pretty much throughout the year we do. But Chris, man, you are ready, man. You are ready for draft season.
I mean, if I would love to see them make the playoffs and make a run at it, but if it don't happen, yeah, we got draft coverage ready to go anytime.
They're picking 14th now, so they could go as far as back as 19th without making the playoffs. But yeah, I want to, January sit around playoffs. You're used to seeing it. You'd like to see it, but you also want a good draft pick too. And let me tell you this much, man. Chris and I did our first mock a couple weeks ago. Christian Miller, we took defensive lineman who can play 3 technique, 5, can do a lot of different things on the defensive line.
He can play nose, which
yeah,
is big. They absolutely need someone that can play nose because they don't have anybody right now that I can trust to play nose.
He's done it all. We're ready to release one. Well, we've been doing them anyway, but the official one, whenever they're officially eliminated from the postseason, whether that takes the whole season, that's fine. We can wait. Chris and I are patient. We'll wait for that. But I'm telling you, Chris, I've gotten more and more, and I'm sure you're seeing it too and hearing.
Oh, yeah.
But the mock drafts people have sending out. Now, I do question when people send me mock drafts with like 9 picks. I'm like, where did you get all these picks, man? The Chiefs don't have that many.
Well, it's because they're trading around.
No, but they weren't, though. They weren't, though.
But that's the thing, though, is like a lot of them they're trading down or and so they're accumulating picks, which
that's good in theory.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to do that because I just don't think that. I mean, now the Chiefs could, in theory, do that if they were in the middle of the first round. They do some wheeling and dealing and get some picks for, maybe get a couple picks for day 3 and get an extra day 2 pick out of it if it's a big enough move from somebody.
But 2027 was where you really need to be thinking.
Yeah. No, they should not be trading up. That is the
draft I love. It's the draft you love.
Yeah, they should not be trading up in next year's draft. 27, you want to have as many picks as you can because that 27 class is going to be one of the best.
Just like last year when they get that extra 4th rounder from Chicago and they gave it up for Noel Williams. Yeah. I like Noel Williams. I like that, but these are things you don't want to do in this draft with 27.
Right, yeah. This is not – it's a good draft, especially if you need a pass rusher like the Chiefs do, but it's not a great draft. 27 looks like it might be a great draft.
It's got like Ahmad Hardy, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, you name it.
I mean, I'll say this. If the Chiefs need a wide receiver, that's going to be the draft to do it.
Yeah, but the amount of people you can get picking 14th certainly becomes different. Now, what sucks is these quarterbacks aren't ready for prime time like we thought going into the year. So that part stinks because if you have 4 quarterbacks taken within the top 10, that's 4 more spots there for you picking 14th and can grab anybody you want. I've seen a lot of mocks lately. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, seems to be the hot name on mock drafts at this point. You can see the connection, man. Oh, Kelsey's going to be leaving this year. He's last year of his contract. He's probably going to retire. Oh, they need a tight end. Yeah, that's one of the needs they need. That is one need, but it's Kenyon Sadiq, and that's been the easy choice for mocking for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love. I've even seen that.
Man, if they got Jeremiah Love,
Brewer had that. I think.
I don't think that happens, but I would love to see Jeremiah Love play for Kansas City. Look, I like Kenyon Sadiq. I think he's a great athlete. I think he would be a nice fit for what the Chiefs are looking for. But personally, I want to see them go edge rusher in the first round. I've kind of been playing around here the last few days or so. I was team defensive tackle in round 1 for the longest.
So was I.
But just thinking about the whole situation with the edge spot opposite George Karlaftis, I think edge rusher is where you got to go, because right now your options for next year are maybe Mike Dana if he's on the team next year, because he might not be on the team next year because he's very cuttable, I believe. And then Charles Omenihu, who is going to be leaving at the end of the year, and I don't think they're going to bring him back because he's been awful this year.
He came back for prove it, man. You're like,
he ain't proved nothing.
He hasn't. This was his chance to go back,
this was
man.
his chance to go out there and do it. And I think we both wanted him back for this year, but he certainly, I forgot he was on the team half of the time. So I think at this point, I think edge rusher is where you have to go.
Have your eyes opened up to, because I asked 10 people yesterday. I talked about it a little bit. I asked 10 people, what position group would you want for the Chiefs? And keep in mind, if I did this back, which I did back in September and things like that, it was predominantly edge, right? It was predominantly defense at that point. But I did get 3 for weapons. And a weapon can be considered Love, Kenyon Sadiq, or a wide receiver like a Mekhi Lemon, a Jordan Tyson, somebody like that. Because really the Chiefs, because Hollywood Brown's going to be gone. So then you're sitting here looking at a wide receiver room with Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. So they will need to get production, because Rashee Rice is number 2. Despite what anybody thinks about Rice, he's number 2 in yards, number 2 in catches, and he's tied for first in touchdowns. Just 7 games. Just 7 games. That's it. Everybody else played 13. And he's already right there. You double it, he's in the 90s. And that's just going to 14 games. You go to 17 games, he's at like 108 catches, 1,300 yards, and 13 touchdowns. But you got to put a whole game together. Again, you can say what you should do, what you prorated to when you look at a whole season. But the bottom line is they got a whole bunch of yards to replace for this offense. I get to the point, Chris, there's so many needs they need. I can almost be swayed different directions if it's a high-quality offensive weapon at pick 14. If it's somebody can come in and make an immediate impact for this team.
My thing is this. I don't know at 14, aside from Jeremiah Love, who would really be worth that pick. Because I like Sadiq a lot, but I also think Sadiq, to me, is not as refined as a tight end.
We're looking at maybe 2 tight ends in the first round, him and Stowers?
I don't think Stowers goes in the first round.
You don't think Stowers goes in the
No,
first
I think he's a second day.
So just one, then you're saying?
Yeah, I think
you don't
one,
have Claire or anybody else.
No, I don't think there's any. I definitely don't think the only other tight end I think could put themselves up there is Stowers. I don't think Claire is worth a first round pick. I don't think Injuries is worth a first round pick. So
Injuries definitely not.
No, the only tight end I think is worth one is Sadiq, and yeah, after that I think we're talking about day 2 tight ends. So, but I think Sadiq needs some. I don't know if he's going to be an instant impact guy, as athletic as he is. Unless you scheme him a lot of touches, I just don't think that happens.
I mean, I do think we're looking at 2 quarterbacks possibly gone before the Chiefs. I think it's going to be Dante Moore and, of course, Mendoza. Those will be the 2 quarterbacks. Do you have anybody else at quarterbacks going before 14? I think just 2 go before the Chiefs.
I think just 2 go in the first round. I don't know who, besides Mendoza and Simpson, who would go in the first round. And I don't even like Simpson. I'm not a fan of Simpson at all, but I think somebody will convince themselves that he's a first-round quarterback.
What about a Peter Woods from Clemson? Would you select him at defensive tackle?
I don't think he'll be there.
The latest
wherever the Chiefs are picking.
Well, Phil Yates has his latest mock out, and he had Peter Woods going 1 slot before the Chiefs. They have the Ravens.
I think Peter's going to be top 10.
So I know the Chiefs had that's great that they have the head-to-head against the Ravens during the season for the playoffs. The bad news is they draft 1 slot ahead of you now because you beat them. That's the one downside to that win.
I think if you're the Chiefs, you try to win as many games as you can.
Agree.
But yeah, I love Peter Woods. If he were available above all the other guys I like at that position, I'd want them to take Peter Woods. But I don't think he's going to be there.
There's going to be a lot of options,
the
man. They're going to have Cassius Howell's going to be sitting there. I mean, you're going to have a lot of edge choices.
I don't think
Cassius Reese's of the world will be gone.
Yeah, Arvell will be gone. I don't think Cassius is a fit for the Chiefs. I think the problem I worry about is his arm length. I think he might be a little bit too short have too short of arms for what the Chiefs are looking for. But yeah, I mean, look, TJ Parker, that's the guy I'd be looking at if the Chiefs end up middle first round. TJ Parker's the guy I'd be looking at. He has the size they're looking for. But I mean, there's some guys in the 20s or even in the second round. If the Chiefs are in the middle of the or picking in the middle of each round, I mean, you could look at Zion Young, you could look at Gabe Akis. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there you could look at for.
And running backs will be plentiful in the second and third round.
Yeah,
if you don't get one in the first round, you're still fine. If you don't end up with Jeremiah Love,
You'll be
They're still
fine.
running backs.
You'll be fine. There's really good
Jonah
running backs.
Coleman
day
could
two.
be sitting right there in the second round. Justice Haynes could be there in the second or the third.
Yeah, I'm a little cold on Coleman, but I like Justice Haynes a lot.
And Chris Bell's going to be dropping down the wide receiver. From
Yeah, because he's
Louisville
got a
that I
torn
love.
ACL.
Yeah.
He's got a torn ACL. He's a guy that,
Love that guy.
if his value were to drop to like third round,
Yeah.
it'd be hard to pass him up if he was sitting there on the board for the Chiefs, I think.
Well, we don't want the season to end. I don't want it to end. You don't want it to end. It has been fun. I mean, it's fun every week to watch them play. The last 2 weeks, they've been downers. I mean, at Thanksgiving Day, that was the time of the Houston Texans game when you had so many opportunities. I'm still team punt. Are you team punt, Chris, I assume, when you're sitting at 31 on your own territory?
No, I tweeted go for it.
Oh, you were team go for it.
Go for it. Just call a better play than whatever the hell you called on.
I didn't like the play. Didn't like the play.
The play call was like, because here's my problem. And shout out to Dana and Hughes. Great analysis on this. He brought up the fact that they did not have Kareem Hunt out there. And like, this is, I think, one of the biggest problems that the Chiefs have had, Andy has had, is that he is able to telegraph what he's going to do based on his personnel. And when you do not have Kareem Hunt out there on 4th and 1, if I'm a defensive coordinator, if I'm the green dot on the defense, I know they're not running the football on this play.
Yeah, for example, when they're under center, they've been running.
Right. And we've talked about it a lot on the Character Concerns podcast. Like, they need to throw from under center more because we know that they're going to run it from under center because they do it every time. So it's like, if you're gonna and this is the reason why I've been hammering, pounding the table so much for them to run the football more with Brashard Smith, because almost every damn time he is out there, he is catching a pass.
He brings it.
And is so predictable. Like, that's my biggest problem with what Andy does with his offense, is like, based on his personnel groupings, especially his running backs, you know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big problem.
You want to get away from that. As far as the going forward, I'm on team punt at this point. It's not hindsight's 2020. It's because the defense was playing like it was. Now, there has been games where when you punt it, they're scoring a touchdown. But that wasn't the case in this game. The particular instance, the Chiefs were stopping. They forced 4 straight 3-and-outs, still 9 minutes left in the game. It was tied. At that point, I would kick it. And keep in mind, Andy Reid, since he's been coaching, he's never gone for it that deep in his own territory when the game is tied or he has a lead. So I would have punted in that situation because the defense was so hot at that point. It was lava hot. But coming down to it, if you did go for it, Chris, let me ask you this. So I said the 3 things I want to see. Jalen Royal starting. I want to see what he's got for 26. I want to see what you have in your 4th-round picks. If you got nothing, you move on. It's very simple to do with the 4th-round pick. You go on by. I want to see what he's got. I'd start Brashard 100% because I don't think Pacheco's on this roster next year. I'm going with the running back room with him because I want to see what he's made of. Give him 20 carries in a game. And also on 4th down calls and 2-minute drills, I'm turning over the play calling to the guy that's in the game, to the guy that's 30 years old, to a 2-time MVP, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. I'm letting Patrick Mahomes call the play on 4th down.
I'm not doing that.
Looks like Manning used to do.
Yeah, no, that's Peyton Manning. I'm not doing that.
I think Mahomes' knowledge of the game at 30 years old, I mean,
right,
his offensive mind is off the charts, but he's
cool.
in the flow of the game. I would let him call the play.
Yeah,
if you know what he would have called? He would have called a rollout to the right, either a short pass like he did against Wiley in Dallas, or he would have taken the football and ran and picked up the yard.
The problem is we all know that he would have done that, and so would the defense. That's the problem.
Yeah,
with
you
the
don't
team.
want to run that Josh Allen situation.
That's the problem with the team, is that you can predict what they're going to run too much. So that's the reason why I don't think you should let him make the play call.
The Kareem Hunt thing I agree with because he's got the success rate that's just slightly behind.
It's not even
what
that.
It is for Tush,
just him being out there makes the defense think about it.
That's what I'm saying, the decoy factor. Whether they're going to use it or not, with Kareem standing back there, there's a damn good chance they're going to give it to him.
Yeah.
So it's either going to use him or, better yet, a decoy.
I mean, in that scenario, you could run a fake read option and then you throw off of that in a way that's actually convincing. You could do it that way because everyone knows, okay, 4th and 1, they got Kareem out there. Well, in all likelihood, they're just going to hand it off to him and we're good. But if you run a read option there and then you want to dump it off, do that rollout and dump it off, I'm fine with that. But to me, I just think the biggest problem that they had in that scenario was that everyone knew they were not going to run the football on there when you didn't see Kareem on the field. So in that scenario, we all know what they're going to do with what they're going to do in that scenario. And teams are just like, oh, they're going to throw it short, and so we just got to play man coverage and we're good. And that's what happened. So if you have a better play call in that situation, and they convert it, we're not talking about them going. We're calling that a great ballsy call if they get it in that scenario.
They were number one in fourth down conversions going in that game. It's the most that Patrick Mahomes ever had being a starter with this team. Their fourth down conversions, they're number two now. They're right at 76%, which is still a high percentage. They've gone for it 29 times. They converted it 22. Of course, just one of three in that game. But considering the time and space and what the defense was doing, I punt in that situation, and you hope the defense continues to play the down, because Houston's offensive line was looking like crap by that second half in that game, actually the whole game, where I think the defense could have gotten to them. We'll take a timeout. We come back. You've heard a lot about the effort issues, sort of with Rashee Rice. What about the trading part of it? Dave Taylor did address that because, McDuffie's one of those guys you might consider trading for more picks. What about Rashee Rice? We discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11120.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. Right now, you can make entries and win money in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. On the Underdog app, I love playing with multiple sports in one entry, combining entries from football and basketball into one selection. That's how I play on the Underdog app. So download the Underdog app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in the state of Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. That's why hundreds hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But you need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold each day from noon till 1 on 96.5 The Fan. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
Did you know we have an Instagram channel? MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, Best Bets, Fantasy Football Advice, and real-time updates during Chiefs games. Get behind-the-scenes content from all the guys on a daily basis. It's exactly why Instagram was created, to look at a bunch of 30-year-old dudes giving sports opinions. Kansas City's FM sports station and your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Chris Lucero, Drew Nixon from Cody and Gold joins us at 8, as he does when I'm on Sundays. Well, there's no Sunday morning show when the Chiefs play at noon. So we'll talk to Drew Nixon specifically about the college football playoffs and the goings around in college football. The Thursday night game is on Amazon. I assume you have it on back there, Chris.
Yeah, it is on the iPad right now.
Still scoreless at this point. Do you like the Bucks and the 5.5 in this game?
No.
No.
Well, I mean,
I don't trust either. I like the Bucks better than the Falcons in this game, but I don't trust either of them. I trust the Falcons less, though.
No, yeah.
So
if I would have put money on the line, I would have put it on the Falcons plus 5.5. I just the Bucks haven't looked good in like a month. And so at this point, even though you are playing at home, anything can happen.
The
divisional game. Yeah, I mean, it's just anything can happen. They haven't played very well. Baker Mayfield has not looked very good since like mid-October. So, you're talking like you're running on 2 months now. So
they've owned that division. I think they've won it 4 straight times at this point. There's one thing on the Falcons I do like, though. Tyler Algier. Do you like Algier? Because he was in the same draft class as Pacheco. Just makes $1 million. He's going to be a free agent.
You have to remember this. In that 23 draft, when we were sitting in here, and they took Bijan Robinson in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I was very critical of it because I'm like, you had a 1,000-yard rusher in Tyler Algier last year.
Uh-huh.
Why are you using a top 10 pick? And Bijan's awesome, but like you could have gotten Jalen Carter and souped up your D-line, and you wouldn't have needed to use 2 first-round picks last year to beef up your line to try to get – actually, it was this year – to try to beef up your D-line because your pass rush wasn't very good.
I'd still draft a running back, but honestly, I don't think Algier would break the bank bringing him in. It's 225-pound back, 225, 230 is where he plays.
It depends on the market because there might be other teams out there willing to offer him pretty decent money.
Yeah, we'll see, but I think he's a capable running back, and he does have 28 catches back at BYU as last year when he was there, so he does have shows good. And he went to BYU, so obviously there's a connection there.
I'll say
Andy
that
Reid.
I like him, and it would be nice to have him kind of take on the Kareem Hunt role, short yardage,
That's what he'd be.
Power back type. I'd be cool with that. But I agree with you. You still got to draft your guy to be your next starting running back.
He's got 8 touchdowns, so short yardage, you give it to him. But put him in the running back room, I would go. I would love to go with the running back room of Algier and a drafted running back.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be cool with him. Have Brashard still do the third down thing, or you could use him in kind of a gadget role where he does running back. Sometimes he does receiver sometimes, because I do think he can provide value for you in that role. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely think you still should be looking at going and taking your pick at running back some point day 2 in April next year.
I agree. I just really like Algier. Now, heard a lot about the Rashee Rice. Obviously, he's struggling against man coverage. Actually, they all 3 are. Brown's been doing better than the rest at it, but Brown, Worthy, and Rice have really struggled against man coverage. The 3 of them have. But it's kind of been an epidemic problem in the NFL. Only two wide receivers have more than 400 yards against man coverage. They're both with the Dallas Cowboys. It's George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. They're the only receivers in the NFL with over 400 yards against man. And Dak Prescott's the only quarterback in the NFL to have over 1,000 yards against man coverage. It's tough. It takes a certain skill set, a bigger physical receiver against man coverage. Well, Nate Taylor from ESPN, of course, joins all the shows as a Chiefs insider, said this about Rashee Rice. Would you consider trading Rashee Rice?
Part of me wants to say no. Now, a lot of this part of me wants to say no because at some point, and we know how talented Rashee Rice is. I think I should start there. Like, he's probably your most talented receiver just from like an overall skill standpoint. Now, as I said before earlier this week on Cody and Gold, hey, he has maturity issues. He still needs to, I think, learn what it's like to be the number one receiving option, especially against man coverage when there's, like a safety over the top. Hey, man, you still got to find work. You still got to perform at a high level. You still got to be a professional, even when the play call isn't like, pristine for you. With that said, we don't know if Travis Kelce's coming back. You do want some continuity. You did invest a second-round pick in him. I know that there was parallels. I think to some degree, alluded to this in like an article back in whatever it was, October, when he came back from the suspension, that, hey, if he played well this season, if there was no, long-term serious injury concerns, could you get him at a below market rate deal similar to what you did with Tyreek Hill in the 2019 offseason because of his own off-the-field issues, right? So he's not going to be like the highest paid receiver. I understand the thought process of trading him. I'm not sure what you would necessarily get back. Like, I don't think you're going to get a second-round pick, the same status of which you drafted him.
And I'm with him on that. Now, the only reason that I was in team pay him early, when he came out like gangbusters, man. He was great when he came back for the Chiefs. A couple touchdowns right there. He's already got 5 on the season. He's got 520 yards in just 7 games. Had a huge game of 141 yards against the Colts. Now, the drops were evident last week. He had 2 drops. He's got 4 in the year. That puts him 35th in the NFL. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 8 drops this season. I don't think anybody'd say he sucks. Emeka Egbuka, who's a great receiver, has 7 drops already on the season. Christian McCaffrey has 7.
He had a real bad one this past Sunday.
But there's a drop problem in the NFL. It's not just what you see under a microscope with the Chiefs and their receivers. CeeDee Lamb's got a bunch this year as well. That there's a drop problem in the National Football League. And, yeah, I get it. You averaged out. You go to 14 games, and he's got 8 drops at that point, maybe 10 if you stretch it out to 17 games. Who knows? We don't know those numbers. Because I said those numbers, if you go 17 games and we give him all those drops, then you got to give him 108 catches and 1,300 yards if we're going to play that game. But my thing is, where's the production going to come from? I believe in giving him a chance. The reason that I was for paying Rice early, now keep in mind, they don't have to pay him. He's a 4-year contract. This will be year 3. Collective bargaining agreement lets you pay guys that have been 3 years in the NFL, so he would be up for that. Just like Karlaftis was part of that 22 draft class, Brock Purdy, part of that 22. The difference there is Purdy was a 7th-round pick, and Karlaftis has that 5th-year option, but he still got that raise, paid him early, got a hometown discount, in my opinion. Brock Purdy didn't have to have it either, but they went ahead and gave it to him. Rashee Rice is up for that 3-year extension. I just feel with everything else that's gone on, and he's got the knock with the injury last year, got the knock with the suspension, that you could get a higher quality wide receiver for not paying the big-time money that other receivers are getting because of those knocks on him.
So he's not going to get that kind of money anyways. So I don't really think you need to worry about that part. Even if he has an awesome year next year, he's not getting Jamar Chase money.
He's not even going to come
Even
close
if he has an awesome year next year, he's not getting Jamar Chase money.
But if you let him
because of all
go the
that
4
other
years,
stuff.
you're gambling on production.
Yeah, but here's
It's a gamble. It's a gamble.
But here's the thing, though. If you are Rashee Rice's agent, you're not entertaining any offers from the Chiefs anyways. Because if you really believe in your client, you're not going to be like, hey, we're going to give you a discount so that he doesn't have to worry about financial security for years to come. He's going to be like, hey, you're the best receiver on this team. Bet on yourself. I guarantee you that's what his agent is telling him. And so even if you want to extend him and get a discount, that doesn't mean that he and his agent want to extend.
No, it doesn't mean that. But if I'm the Chiefs, I'm playing the card of.
Oh, I'm
you've
sure
been
the Chiefs.
suspended 6
I'm
times.
sure the Chiefs are going to play that card and are going to do that.
You push it over to the middle and say, this is what you do against me in coverage.
Right.
This is your drops. The fact is, you had all that legal fees to pay. You had to pay off people. You're not getting the endorsements, even for as I brought up with Carrington and Nebraska Furniture Mart with Pacheco or anything. You're not getting anything.
That's Furniture Mall. Actual living spaces. That's living spaces.
Whatever. He's not getting any of that. So he's not getting any of those, and he does have a hefty fee to pay for things off the field that if the Chiefs are pushing money in front of him, he might accept it.
He might, but I'm telling you, his agent's going to do everything he can to get him to not accept it.
That's the agent's job.
And so that's the reason why I just think that that's a pipe dream.
But if I'm the Chiefs, I'm playing the game as he's been suspended 6 games.
Oh, I'm sure.
If anything happens again, sneeze the wrong way, he's gone for a year.
But I'm telling you, his agent is going to tell him, no, bet on yourself.
Of course he is.
So you can say, hey, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm doing this. It doesn't mean anything if his agent and him say no. So that's the reason why I think at this point, the only solution is he needs to go out there and prove that he's worth the big-time contract, and we'll worry about this in a year. Because that's what it's going to come down to, I think.
A more apt receiver coach to work with Rice is what's needed. I would keep the core, and that would be Reed, and that would be Spags, and everybody else would be debatable. Dave Merritt's been great for this team, so you may keep him around. But the wide receiver coach, Connor Embry, all this, anything else is subject to a change. But I would keep the core. Dave Tope would be subject to a change, too. The core I'd keep is Reed and Spags.
So I don't think it's a good idea to just fire a bunch of position coaches.
It wouldn't be firing them all. I'm just saying it would be a point of discussion for anybody on the table.
Yeah,
except
again,
for a couple people that wouldn't be in the discussion.
Right, I just don't think that that's feasible, because I think
like Pinkston and stuff, that's fine.
Yeah, I just don't think it's feasible. Hey, we're just going to fire a bunch of guys because those position groups aren't.
It's not what they do.
Because not only that, but it's not what good teams do anyways. Like when you start firing position coaches and whatnot, that's not a good sign for your team.
But bringing in fresh ideas from different places,
you could do that. You could do that without firing people. You know, they invented positions for Brad Childress and
I'm just saying, if you're not getting
Kafka
production from
before.
your receivers, I would maybe be looking a different direction for that.
Because I think
that's a position I think they can't upgrade.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue is how they scheme their receivers, because I don't think they're using Xavier Worthy properly. I don't think they're using Rashee Rice quite.
No, he's not being
the way
used
that
properly.
He
should be running the Tyquan Thornton routes. He should be down. You should be utilizing that 4.21 speed.
Yeah, so that's not a Connor Embry problem. That's an Andy Reid problem.
No.
And so, that's my issue is when we start talking about, well, you got to fire Mike Kafka. It was it doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator is.
It's never matter.
Because it's Andy Reid. You're just saying, you might as well fire the janitor at that point, because that's the same effect it's going to have on the field.
I just don't always agree with going with the status quo. There's certain,
I
certain
agree
pillars
with that.
I'd keep.
And
Just like when they brought Chris
just,
Ault in for the pistol offense. I was fine with that.
Right, yeah,
that was smart.
yeah, because
it
they
was
didn't
utilizing your skill of your quarterback at the time, which
and that's
is Alex
fine.
Smith.
My thing, though, is this. I think change should be meaningful. I don't think you should just make change because some fans want you to fire somebody because they need a scapegoat for Andy Reid. Andy Reid's play calling is the biggest issue with the offense. It's simple as that. The way that he schemed this offense, the way that he calls this offense, that's the reason why the offense is not performing well, aside from performance issues from the actual players. And to me, the bigger issue, you could fire Connor, you could fire Kafka. It's not going to mean anything if Andy doesn't decide to change how he sequences plays.
Kafka's not here to be fired.
But that's not, you know what I mean, Nagy. Yeah. But that's my thing, though, is if you are just saying, hey, we just got to fire somebody, that doesn't change anything if Andy's philosophy doesn't change.
It's all with the direction to how do you improve the Kansas City Chiefs. Going forward, 2026, when you reboot this thing, what are you going to do? Coming up next, we'll look at Brett Veach and his kind of role with this team, because there's some numbers out there that might surprise you as far as draft picks still retained on this roster. I've brought it up before, but here's the actual tangible proof of the guys still on this roster. Talking about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Men, it's the holidays, the season of all kinds of hustle and bustle. But if your energy is down, if you aren't sleeping well, if your sex drive is MIA, and you just don't feel like the guy you once were, maybe it's tough to get excited for all the holiday cheer. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if this sounds like you may have low testosterone. And if so, this is the season for you to get treated. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. If you're like most guys, you'll feel the change in just a few weeks. And truly, the results can be life-changing. You'll have improved mental clarity, your energy will kick up, your workouts will be better, your sleep patterns will improve, and your sex drive will likely heat up as well. So call us and don't go through another season with low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. When you buy an engagement ring or fine jewelry gift from Shane Company, you get more than what you paid for. Our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. It covers everything. There's no fine print. You'll get unlimited cleanings, resizings, and repairs. Plus, it even protects your engagement ring's center stone. We stand behind the quality of our jewelry, and that's our gift to you this holiday. Peace of mind. Because a friend knows the best things in life are free. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there. With information coming at us all day, every day, it's hard to know what to trust. And the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals. So it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Belden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment, open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymocanschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Chris Nocero. By the way, still 0-0 in the Falcons-Bucks game. I did see Ian Rappaport before the game, Chris. He said that even though Lincoln Riley was a full participant in practice today for the Colts, said you might see Phillip Rivers starting this week.
You said Lincoln Riley?
Not Lincoln Riley.
I was like, when did he start playing for the Colts?
Not Lincoln Riley.
You mean Riley Leonard?
Riley Leonard from Duke.
I was like, oh, how did he end up there?
Lincoln Riley, probably so. He's got to find a new home now. He's going to play at SoFi for a year if he's still the coach there. And by the way, congrats to Ryan Beard, the head coach from Missouri State. He's leaving for Coastal Carolina. I guess the Sun Belt's paying more now than the Conference USA, Chris, because he's going from Conference USA to the Sun Belt.
Sunbelt, yeah, Sunbelt's
paying some money there now.
Right. Sunbelt is probably like the second.
Yeah.
Is it the second best?
They're getting better, man. They're getting better.
G5 behind the American? Because I think American's on top.
Yeah, I've definitely put the American on top.
Yeah, I think
With
Sunbelt's
Tulane
right after
and
that.
North Texas and
yeah,
Navy
and then you got Sunbelt under that, and they got like James Madison and
it's
Louisiana.
a step up.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
congratulations, Missouri State, of course, in the bowl game. His bowl press conference was canceled today, so everybody kind of pieced it together. They don't know they're going to lose Ryan Beard, and he's on his way up, and he's obviously going to Coastal Carolina at this point. From the text line, not happy about the Chiefs not in the playoffs. He says it's unexcusable to not be in the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes after 7 straight AFC title games.
It happens.
Well, it happens. It happens in the NFL.
I mean,
everybody
Tom
else,
Brady missed the playoffs the year after he won the Super Bowl.
He's missed it twice. Here's
it happens.
Here's the reality of the situation. It's these guys are on scholarship too. Everybody gets the same amount of money. Everybody's paid to beat you. You can only stay on top for a certain amount of time. And let's be honest, when you lose Rashee Rice for the first 6 games of the year, and all of a sudden Xavier Worthy then becomes your number 1, he's gone on play 3 for 3 games he missed. When you're without your number 1 and your number 2 for 3 games and Rice without 6 games in that chunk, I'm sorry, I don't care what quarterback you are. Now, the Chiefs got through that 3-3. That's fine. But you know what? How much better they'd be looking right now? Being 4-2 in that situation of 6 games. Crap happens. But let's not forget, this team went 22 freaking years without winning a playoff game. Let's not forget that. They made the AFC title game January 4th of 1970, didn't make it again until 1994. That is a couple decade and a half of the Chiefs not making the AFC title game. That's a long time. What we had happen, hey, I always said, don't take it for granted. Don't take these AFC title games for granted. It's not a given right given to you. It is so tough in this league through the draft, through free agency, being the bullseye on your back every year. Teams want to beat you, and you know what? When things don't go your way and you have guys hurt and suspended, guess what? It's going to cause issues. Teams figure you out, and that's what happened to the Chiefs this year. Drew Tranquill, I agree with what he said yesterday. You know, the ball's not falling their way like it did last year. Last year, the cracks were there. They showed the signs last year, but everybody just kind of rolled with it because the Chiefs were winning. You know, they were blocking a field goal. They were doinking a field goal through the goalpost, and you win those games. You win your division by 4 games, a division that was the only division in the AFC to have 3 playoff teams, and you won it comfortably, and you get to the Super Bowl. Well, crap happens. And Chiefs are getting a dose of reality now. Now it's time to reboot it. Now it's time for Brett Veach to get to work with this draft, a very important draft. You could make a case the second most important, or you can honestly make the case it's the most important draft going forward for Brett Veach.
I think you can make cases the most important. I also think you can make
It's in the
cases
top
second. It's like this in the 22 draft. I think were huge,
and that worked out perfect for him.
Yeah, because they smashed it. So this is the opportunity to have a kind of 22 draft type impact on the next few years for this team. So if they end up missing the playoffs, then take advantage of the fact that you're going to be picking the highest you've picked since, what is it, 2016? Probably 2014, actually, 2015. So, you know, you're talking about being in a situation where you're going to have an opportunity to go get some guys you normally would never be able to get. So, you know, hopefully they're doing their research. I mean, I know they are, but like hopefully they're getting ready to go out there and hit the right positions.
And here's the other thing people aren't thinking about. When you're going to 7 straight AFC title games, when you're going to Super Bowl 5 out of 6 years, and you're picking at the end of the first round, you're not getting the talent supplied like a lot of other places do. So keep that in mind when you have criticisms of the general manager. He's picking at the end of the first. He's picking at the end of every round because of where they finish. Ask the Buffalo Bills what it's like to pick last in the draft. They'll never be able to tell you because they never won it all. It is not easy to do drafting where they draft. Having said that, from 2021 to 2024, it's on Fox Sports here. The AP had it and all that. Can you guess which team, Chris, had the highest percentage of draft picks still on the roster for that 4-year span?
That was the Chiefs.
It wasn't. It was the Cincinnati Bengals, believe it or not. 73.5% of their draft picks were still on their rosters for those 4 years. The Chiefs were number 2. They were 73.5%. Chiefs were 73.3%, just 0.02% behind the Bengals. The biggest difference is, okay, they made a Super Bowl. That's fine. They did right. They got to the Super Bowl, but they've watched the playoffs the last 2 years. The Chiefs, in that span, went to 3 straight, and they won 2 of them. So you can say Brett Veach maximized his draft classes better than anybody else when from 2021 to 2024, 73.3% of the draft picks were still on this roster. Now, that's not always been the case with other teams. The Lions, by the way, at 72.4% retention. So you can have draft picks, but you got to do something with them. Now, the Vikings, 32.4%. The Patriots, 36.8%. You're not winning drafting that bad. So if you're drafting at the end of the first round, keep in mind, your slot and your selection is much different at the end of the first round than sitting at the 14th pick where the Chiefs sit now. So all this is tough. Yesterday we looked at Andy Reid and went over that whole deal with all the people being negative on the situation. And I told people this. I was like, listen, he's coached for 26 years. He's made the AFC or NFC title game 12 times. That's 46%. You are not going to find another coach that has gone to a title game 46% of the time he's coached. With the caveat is you've got to coach at least 25 years in the National Football League. You're not going to find it. So don't even look for it because it doesn't exist. You might say Belichick, but he's at 44%. So Andy Reid's 2% better than that. Now, if he doesn't make it this year, which is not looking great for that situation, it drops to 44%. But still, I mean, you're almost at 50% of going to the AFC or NFC title game. That is unheard of what he's doing. But Brett Veach, 73.3% of his draft classes have still maintained their position on the roster. And again, it's one thing if you're the Arizona Cardinals. It's one thing if you're the Tennessee Titans that don't do crap. It is another thing if you're going to 3 straight Super Bowls and winning 2 of them. Now, this year, it's different. 1 and 2, you're not seeing them. Simmons is hurt. Omar Norman-Lott was shut down for the year. There is a few draft picks that you can still see. You're going to see a lot of Noah Williams coming up. You're going to see my hope is you're going to see more Brashard Smith. My hope is you're going to see more of him. And I want to see Jalen Royals. I want to see what he can do finally. It doesn't matter at this point. Maybe he brings life to the team. We don't know. Remember, Asa Polle was just sitting there, and he got his chance to play, and he played well. Of course, as Andy Reid says, was 100% right. We'll see how he does the second time once tape is out on you. Because guess what? They know nothing about you. And you have the advantage when nobody knows anything about you. The problem is the second time you play, Chris, people know all about your tendencies. And that's exactly what Andy Reid said yesterday. We'll take a timeout, answer a few of your questions. Don't forget, I got Drew Nixon coming at 8 o'clock as we look at the college football playoffs.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kid wears the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat in that short smells like a dog park. I'm Downy rinsing tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Yellowstone. The epic ranching drama is now a Kansas Lottery scratch ticket and your ticket to experiences you can't get anywhere else. Top prize of $25,000, plus second chance drawings that let you live the show. Attend a premiere or visit the set, but know what you're getting into. Just kidding. This is a game, not the show. Play Yellowstone. CKSLottery.com for details.
Newton James is Kansas City's newest classic menswear boutique and accessory store. They redefine what menswear should be with the best designers from the US, the UK, and Japan. Their new seasonal collection just dropped, but the most popular colors and modern cuts always go first. So check them out today. Whether it's a suit for a holiday party, a winter wedding, or a sharp everyday fit, get the best look while your size is still in stock. At Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. Check them out on Instagram or newtonjames.com.
Don't become another lab-grown diamond victim. There are many reasons you will never see a lab-grown diamond for sale at House of Diamonds. You can learn a few of them online at mybigrock.com. Maybe a wholesale price or two as well. That's mybigrock.com.
Pick up Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus receive 2 times O Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Gates Barbecue's distinctive flavors will make your holiday meals unforgettable. Spice up your holiday table with Gates sauces and seasonings. Prepare your meats, potatoes, and vegetables with Gates seasonings, and top it off with one of the 5 Gates sauces. While watching a game or your favorite holiday movie, sprinkle Gates original seasoning on a bowl of hot buttered popcorn. So good. You can buy Gates at your neighborhood grocer or online at gatesbarbecue.com. Gates Barbecue, still doing it the old-fashioned way. Thanks. With love.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Chris and Ocero. See the SEC release their schedule tonight? We already kind of knew who the teams were playing, but they kind of put it together when they're going to play them. Like Missouri does have that weird quirk where they're playing at Arkansas 2 straight years. The Kansas and Missouri game will be in week 2 this year. But then you got to sit there and wait till 2031, Chris. Isn't that too long to wait between? Shouldn't those teams play every single year? You knew it was going to, I mean, it was scheduled for 2031, 32. You knew there was going to be this little hiatus when they played, but man, that game should be played every year.
Yeah, they should do it every year. It's getting really hard now because the SEC is trying to add another conference game to the schedule for all their teams. So I think it's like up to 9 games now from 8. And, you know, that just makes it even harder for you to be able to get those regional non-cons like you would see with Mizzou and KU. But I do think they should do it every year because I think, you know, just for me, that's my favorite rivalry in college football aside from Florida and Georgia.
Is that still your favorite?
Oh, yeah.
I think Army-Navy is a fun one. I think that's the best rivalry. That's this weekend.
I mean, I think it's cool. It's not high-level football, but it's cool to watch. It's just...
Well, they're both in bowl games this year.
Yeah, that's cool. They're neither... I mean, one's 9-2, one's, 6-6? So
6-5.
6-5. So it's like, it's not high-level football, but yeah.
It's a great game.
It's always an entertaining game to watch. But yeah, Florida-Georgia is my favorite rivalry.
You still call it the cocktail party?
Yeah, I still call it that. What do they call it now? Because I just call it the cocktail party.
Yeah,
I still call it the border war. I don't call it border showdown. I call it border war.
Yeah,
that's what we call it.
The border showdown.
I don't call it that.
What's the world's largest outdoor cocktail party?
Yeah, that's the name. I don't know what they call it now. I still call it the world's largest cocktail party.
Well, it should be called that.
Yeah. What are we doing? Like, why are we? we know everybody's drinking at these games. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but Missouri and KU, of course, it was a fun game to watch. Kansas jumped out early on Missouri in that game, but got to wait till 2030 31 to see this game renewed once again. I like college football. I like the rivalries. I like the pageant. I can't wait for the college football playoffs. I know there's been a lot of whining and a lot of bitching about it. It certainly doesn't really affect us here. I mean, unless you're a Notre Dame alum or huge Notre Dame fan and you're very upset about them being out of the playoffs, or you're a Texas fan or Vanderbilt fan. But obviously, Kansas, Missouri, K-State not in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. I just want to see great games, and we're going to get great games coming up here.
You talking about the
FBS playoffs?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I'm just ready for the playoffs, man. I mean, enough of this. I mean, I know
next
there's been a lot of
weekend.
whining and complaining, and that's been going on all week. I'm just ready to get this thing started, man.
I think Notre Dame, they're going out like suckers in all of this because they and this is one of the things that has been talked about since they instituted the college football playoff, is that your schedule matters even more now in terms of the difficulty. And the problem is that they are rolling the dice every single year by not being in a conference, and it cost them this year. Because if they were in a conference and they would have won their conference championship, they would have got in. But because they're not in a conference, you just have to base what they're doing on their schedule in comparison to other schedules. And it's like if you compare their schedule to Alabama's, it's not even close. Like Alabama's is way more difficult, and they finished with one less loss. I mean, one more loss than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame really didn't perform that well against the ranked teams.
But let's break it down. They didn't drop. Everybody else dropped after the conference title game. Alabama didn't. But Alabama, they did the top 10 most viewed teams this year, of course.
Yeah.
It's Alabama. So think about all these other theories. That one's probably the biggest.
Yeah, like I said, my thing is just like Alabama had a way tougher schedule. They play in a way tougher conference because they play in a conference. And so it's like Notre Dame went 2-2 against ranked teams this year. And the two best of those ranked teams they lost to. So at that point, it is what it is. This is why, if you're going to take the money, being an independent, getting the extra money like that, it comes with the caveat that you probably will miss out on the playoffs sometimes whenever you're compared to a team that's in a great conference.
Coming up next, though, we talk college football playoffs, and we'll talk a little bit about Michigan as well, with Sharon Moore in the direction they might go. But Drew Nixon, 249 miles of college football, his podcast that he is out. He usually joins me on Sunday mornings, changing it up, doing it this week during the week time because we don't have a chance, but we haven't had a chance to break down things with Drew Nixon. We do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's time away from your family and friends. But in 2026, all that could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. At QC Kinetics, right here in Kansas City, we believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. We use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, finally. So schedule your free consultation today and use your HSA or FSA before the year ends. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to rexbuyskc.com. That's rexbuyskc.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Save up to $4,500 with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter, thanks to limited time tax credits and special incentives on energy-efficient HVAC systems. But don't wait. Those federal tax credits expire after December. Upgrade your heating and cooling system, and you can enjoy lower energy bills and year-round comfort. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions, and lock in your savings before time runs out. License number 2025-11121.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content at The Fan 965, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey, welcome back. 8 o'clock hour. After hours, Jay Binkley, Chris and O'Cero. September 19th, Chris, that's the game you need to write down. LSU at Ole Miss as the SEC schedule came out tonight. Again, we knew who the opponents were going to be, but when you're going to be playing them. September 19th, Lane Kiffin, I'm sure he'll get a great welcome at Ole Miss.
I'll say this, if LSU loses that game, they are going to be insufferable in postgame. Oh. I hate Lane Kiffin. I did not want him to end up at Florida. So when Florida pulled out of that whole deal because they knew he wasn't into it, imagine the relief on my face when that came across my phone. I didn't want anything to do with him. So, yeah, I was very, very happy that didn't work out.
It's one of those things, too, with as far as they're concerned, because one of these things with these teams that don't get there, and John Summerall is going to be a great coach at Florida. I think they got a good coach there at Florida because Summerall's done a great job where he's been, whether it's been at Troy. Last 4 years has been the conference championship game at each stop that he's been. So I think John Summerall has been a great hire there.
Yeah, me too. I love John Summerall for Florida.
Yeah. 4 straight years in the conference championship game in 2 different conferences.
All he does is win get double-digit wins every year. I'm cool with that.
Joining us now, though, Drew Nixon from 249 Miles of College Football Podcast and the producer of Cody and Gold. Good evening to you, Drew.
What's up, Bink? How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Couple college football guys here, and Chris and me and you. This is a perfect little triumvirate of college football talk. We were just talking about John Summerall going to Florida. Ryan Beard from Missouri State. He's going up conferences because, yes, it is a promotion going from Conference USA to the Sun Belt where he's going to be with Coastal Carolina. I hate seeing it for Missouri State, but it's good for him.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's a bummer for Missouri State, obviously, because of them having – not to say they almost had too good of a season, but, your first year in FBS play, you go 7-5, and all of a sudden other group of 5 jobs open up. And unfortunately for Missouri State, they're in Conference USA where that conference is the weakest out of all the group of 5 schools. So, you get the Sun Belt or the American Conference that's like, hey, man, you had a really good season. We need to replace it. Our guy, you want to come over, and it's more appealing because the conference is it's an upgrade, even though it's within the group of 5. So, unfortunate for Missouri State, good for Ryan Beard, and my brother and sister, ironically, are Coastal grads. So I was talking to them about it. They're a little bit excited about it because obviously not having a coach to now having Ryan Beard, who we know how good of a coach he is, doing what he did this first year. So Obviously, it's good for Coastal and good for the Sun Belt too. They
I
get a
like
good
their
football field.
program, and I like what they're doing. I like watching Coastal. The only problem is watching home games because that teal turf is a tough TV watch.
It's. I will say, I think it's. I don't know if it's as bad as the Boise State one, but you combine the two together. Of course, they're wearing the teal on the teal turf, so it makes it tougher.
Have
and
you
then
ever
wear the
seen
blue with the Boise State turf?
Have you ever seen Eastern Washington? It's red.
Yeah, the red. Yeah, the red field, or also Central Arkansas with the purple field.
Yeah, purple
Crazy.
and gray. It's like every 5 yards is different. Than Eastern Michigan, home of Vern, home of Max Crosby, has the gray turf.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's interesting.
So, all right. So we're gonna dive in. What do you do on the podcast this week? You looking at all the playoffs?
Yeah, so it's the playoff stuff. Also, talking about the bowl games and KU and K-State opting out. Why I would have played the games, but I understand why. The coaching change at K-State and everything. I understand why the Cats and why the Jayhawks didn't end up going ahead and playing in those games.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. But first, the Michigan job opens up with Sharon Moore. How stunning was that to you yesterday? Because I was sitting there just trying to, think about, oh my gosh, he's leaving. That's a prime job. That's the all-time winningest program. There's going to be a ton of names. This could cause yet another domino to fall in college football. Any idea who's your favorite to take that job at this point, if you have one?
I mean, I would say, I would say Jed Fish is a name to watch.
I like him.
I would say Kenny Dillingham is a name to watch. I also think, obviously people are going to say, well, how about Kalen DeBoer? I'm not going to say I don't think it's going to happen, but it's unlikely. I do think a name to watch might be Manny Diaz at Duke, because he's done a really nice job at Duke. Where let's say they strike out on the other top options, Manny Diaz maybe. And also, I hate to say this, Eli Drinkwitz, man, like if you're Michigan, I know we just signed the extension, but if you can go from Missouri to Michigan where you're staying in a top-tier conference, it's easier to win in the Big Ten than it is in the SEC. My job might be a little bit appealing to Coach Drinkwitz if you were like, you know what, I got the offer, let's just see what happens here.
Yeah, and Kalen DeBoer's buyout's actually pretty reasonable for a school like Michigan if that's where he's going to jump to. So that's only something to think about. Jesse Mentor would be another guy if they want to stay within somebody that's been in the program. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to go a different direction. And Dillingham, by the way, Taylor Wan, the Michigan grad who's messing with the boys, he went through high school with Kenny Dillingham. They were teammates back then, so there's that connection with that. Here's the thing I told Chris. It's like, there's been a lot of complaining, a lot of whining nationally. It's been the story. Notre Dame left out of the playoffs. Too bad, so sad. You lost your head against Miami. You're not in it. I don't care at this point. I just want to drink beer and watch college football playoffs, and that's exactly what we're going to get.
Yeah, you'll be able to get everything that you want out of it. It starts on Saturday, but things really don't pick up until like Wednesday or Thursday. But there's a few days where, I remember the good old days of me in high school, Bink. It's Christmas break, and you can do nothing, don't have to do anything. You just sit back and watch college football. Of course, I wasn't drinking beer in high school, but now I can.
Now you can. And the thing about the playoffs is they get going here. December 20th, 19th and 19th is the first game. December 20th is the rest. But the funny thing is, if you look back to last year, how they tweaked the rules, which they're going to continue to do that. Under last year's rules, Tulane would have got the Boise State treatment and got the first-round bye had it been last year. But instead, it's going to be Indiana 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Texas Tech 4. All right, Drew. So when you look at these playoffs, I talked about it earlier when I was with Carrington, who I liked it through the college football playoffs. I said Ohio State. I'm a big fan of what the champ did. You got to knock them off, and they've been solid, number one defense scoring against the nation. And then CDOT went Georgia. And Georgia would be my number 2, to be honest with you. They've gotten progressively better. Gunnar Stockton has gotten better throughout the year. Not a ton of stars. Zachariah Branch, maybe. Oscar Delp, I don't think, has lived up to the potential that he had. The defense has gotten progressively better. But those would be my top 2 teams. I think Ohio State is the eventual national champion.
Yeah, right now I talked about it a little bit on the podcast because Indiana obviously beat Ohio State, but it still feels like to me that Ohio State is the best team in the country. I know that might sound weird, but I think Ohio State would be 1 to me. And then I want to say Indiana so bad. But it's between Georgia and them. I'm going to say Indiana, and it's not just because I'm from there. I think it's when you pair what Kurt Cignetti has done with Fernando Mendoza and just the entire roster, it feels like the roster is better. And that Big Ten game, Bink, I thought was more about Indiana than it was Ohio State because, with Ohio State, we already know how good they are. I mean, they've proven it year in and year out. With Indiana, after what we saw them do last year, it's like, you know what? Let's see if this team is actually legit. We've seen them go undefeated again. Are they actually a legit threat to win this whole thing and compete with the big boys? And they proved that they were. But I still think that Ohio State is better than them. But I think Kurt Cignetti has taken a group of players that maybe aren't the most talented on the face of the roster, but the confidence that he gives them because Coach Cignetti is confident, I mean, it can do wonders for your players. And I think that's part of why Coach Cignetti is maybe the best coach in all of college football.
No, I agree with you on Cignetti. I think he could do some damage. And here's the funny thing about it. Once that game was done, people were talking like, oh, Indiana's defense is good. Yeah, Indiana's defense is good. That was the number 1 and the number 2 scoring defenses in the country going at it the Big Ten title game. Ohio State is 8.2 points a game against. Indiana 10.8 against. That's number 1 and number 2 scoring defenses in the nation out of 136 college football teams at FBS. They're incredible. Here's the one thing about Indiana. I think they have 3 draftable receivers. Elijah Surratt, E.J. Williams, Omar Cooper, and Charlie Becker, I think, could be better than any of them, but he's got another year to go before he's eligible for the NFL. You got a quarterback in Fernando Mendoza that will be the top quarterback selected in the draft, and he'll probably be the Heisman Trophy winner. So, yeah, when you have 5 draftable guys, I think, on that offense. That's not even including Roman Hemby because I think he'll be drafted as well. That team is absolutely loaded, but don't sleep. Indiana's got a very good defense to go along with that offense.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that that makes them sneaky good is people see the what they do on offense and how flashy they are and just how many points they put up in Surratt and Hemby and obviously Mendoza. But that defense is one of the best. And I know that they, you look at their schedule and say, well, they didn't really play that many teams that were that overly great. But, I mean, for them to hold Oregon to what they did and then Ohio State and that offense, I mean, you're going up against Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, Carnell Tate's going to be maybe even a top 15 pick, top 10 pick potentially in this draft. So, I mean, they are no slouch when it comes down to stopping some of these teams.
They beat 2 playoff teams. None of them were in Bloomington. One was on the road in Eugene, and the other one was at the Big Ten title game in Indianapolis. So, they've got 2 playoff team wins under their belt at this point. And it's an amazing thing what Cignetti's done because Indiana was the losingest team in college football with 715 losses. Northwestern is now past them because Indiana did not lose this year, of course. But James Madison's where Cignetti came from, the whole Google me and stuff when he got there. But he took a lot of good players from James Madison. Bob Chesney goes there, builds them back up, has them in the playoffs. He'll coach them to the playoffs, then he'll bolt to UCLA. But that just shows you how damn good that program is to go through 2 quality coaches and make the college football playoffs, considering Cignetti took a lot of that talent.
Oh, no, 100%. And I think that's, you look at, and like App State has kind of fallen off a little bit, but App State was that way a little bit when they first came up. They weren't making the playoff or anything, but they were able to have immediate success. And then obviously you look at what JMU has done, Coastal even to an extent has done that. And ironically, you look at all 3 of those schools, they're all from the Sun Belt. I think that if you look at the group of 5 schools, and this is where people, me, you, and Chris obviously, can dig deep and follow any team in college football and enjoy it. But for people who might cheer for Mizzou or KU or K-State, I think one of the best part of bowl weekends is you get to discover talent that maybe the Chiefs are going to draft. And you start to find talent in the American Conference and the Sun Belt Conference. And, it gives you a good reason to watch these conferences because there is really good talent at the Sun Belt and American conferences in particular. When you look at those group of 5 conferences, there's a lot of really high quality talent that you're going to start to see, whether it's players go from group of 5 school to power school. And you're like, oh wait, this player's pretty good. Joey Aguilar, he played at App State. How did Tennessee find him? They're also paying attention to these schools. So, I mean, I think it's a ton of fun when you look at the sport itself. And yes, we focus so much on the Power 4 schools and everything like that. But I mean, there are a lot of really good players at the group of 5 level, and it's a lot of fun for people to watch. So if you're just a casual fan I encourage you to watch some of these bowl games. Like Old Dominion in South Florida is one of the really good ones that you all should be watching because there's a lot of really good talent on the field from those two teams as well as plenty of others.
It's like the combine in action is what it is. These teams are
100%. Or like the Senior Bowl. Oh, yeah.
And I know people are really in love with Kenyon Sadiq, and he's been in a lot of mock drafts lately. Watch that. That's the Oregon tight end, and he's been mocked to the Kansas City Chiefs quite a bit. So if you want to see Kenyon Sadiq in action, you can watch him with Oregon, but draftable players all over the place. Sure, I wanted to ask you about this, too. It's kind of a college football question. I think a lot of people are kind of not talking about it, but I do think it is a talking point. The three teams that were bowl eligible that declined, Kansas State declined a bowl game, Iowa State declined a bowl game, and obviously Notre Dame, the highest profile, to say no to a bowl game. We've had 7 teams that were 5-7 because they go through APR and they'll take 5 and 7 teams to a bowl game. You're supposed to have at least 6 wins to be eligible. But teams that declined that were 5-7 were Florida State, Auburn, Central Florida, Baylor, Rutgers, Temple, and Kansas declined going to a bowl game. Now, what a lot of people are using is excuses that there's coaching changes. Well, a lot of people have coaching changes, including 2 teams in the college football playoffs are going to have new coaches next year. Hell, LSU had the highest profile coaching change, and they're still on a bowl game coming up here this season. So your thoughts, is the bowl games going away? Because we've seen the players opting out, and we kind of get that. They're going to the NFL. They don't want to take a chance to get hurt because if they are, their draft stock will fall. But now we're seeing teams opt out, and that goes to the sponsorship. You have advertisements from players involved. You got a lot of different things involved in teams opting out of bowl games. But are we going to see the end of the, quote, bowl system?
Well, I think it's difficult to say yes or no to. I would lean yes, just based on, the trend that we've seen and, people talking about the sport gets, the TV executives and all the people who run the sport right now, which is ridiculous in the first place. But that's another conversation. It makes them weary about having teams in and how many bowl games we have. Are there too many? Probably. But I do think that maybe we see it from the power conference perspective of, hey, look, Penn State and Clemson are playing in their bowl games. I think a lot, Clemson has had an awful season to their standard, and they're still playing in a bowl game. Penn State obviously fired James Franklin middle of the season. They're still playing. I think that it means a lot for the small schools because, like I said, USF beat Florida. They had a really good season. They're playing Old Dominion. I mean, this is another shot for those seniors not only to get celebrated, but for guys that can be put on a bigger stage to go and play these games. I mean, it's just more tape that they can continue to put. So I think for the small schools, it fits, and maybe that's what the bowl system turns into, where the playoff is what the playoff is, and if it expands, it expands. And I still think there's a way to include group of 5 teams in. You might just have to change up how the playoff looks, but I think the bowl system is still very useful, particularly for those teams that are in the group of 5. But also, Clemson, look, this is Cade Klubnik's last ride, and I think that for teams, if you want to have players vote on it like they did at K-State, then that's fine. And if they don't want to play, that's great. But, again, the school got fined $500,000. And instead of making money because they were there, if they went to the bowl game, they would make money. Instead, they lose $500,000, and it gets you a head start with Colin Klein. But at the same time, you're losing $500,000 because you're not playing in the game.
Well,
it feels steep to me. And for KU as well, I get it. The players don't want to play in the bowl game, but, hey, Jalen Daniels look, if y'all want to play, I'm down because this is his last game as a KU player. Plus, you get a shot to see what Isaiah Marshall's got. It's more game tape where outside of just spring practice, you get to see in a live game, what can Isaiah Marshall give us? They start him for the whole second half. I don't know, something along those lines where you're going to get more game reps for these players who you could utilize. It just feels like a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do understand why I guess some schools are like, no, we're not going to play because of coaching changes or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. It's here's the thing. It's extra practice. It's extra practice. And you get a chance to see quarterbacks for the next season. They get a chance to start in that bowl game. But I get it. They all get worried about the transfer portal coming up here, and they worry about fielding teams, which is definitely different now than the way it used to be. It used to be that real honor. Again, 1980, there's only 8 bowl games. But now with the transfer portal coming out, you got to worry about, do you have enough players to field for said bowl game? Rick Neuheisel had a pretty good suggestion, Drew. I mean, it's probably not one that could be feasible, but he was saying play these games at the beginning of the year just have like a bowl game, like you have one of these sponsored games or something, and you
I
get
remember him saying this.
and you get marquee matchups at the beginning. I would be in favor of more teams and more towns than more sponsors throwing big. Just like we're going to see Louisville and Ole Miss coming up here. What is it, next year they're going to be playing?
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid non-conference game. Like even Arrowhead. Arrowhead could bid on that. I know they like bringing college games like they did had the Nebraska-Cincinnati game this year. They could have the .com sponsored preseason bowl game that would actually counts at the beginning of the year, like they did back in the day. They used to have Florida State and Iowa State that had played in a preseason bowl game. It was not preseason. I shouldn't say that because it counted. But do something like that to see other teams play. I hope they figure it out because I'm a sucker for this, Drew. And I know you like watching this, but I enjoy bowl games.
I mean, I think that there's an argument for that. I do think now, especially, that they moved the transfer window to just being one of them from January 2nd to 16th.
It's a good idea.
Why can't we see Alabama play against Jacksonville State in a spring game? Why is that such a bad thing? I know that because now there's no excuse now anymore, Bink, where the excuse was, we're canceling we're canceling spring games because the portal opens again. Now that portal doesn't open anymore. So to me, spring games should continue to happen, or you just have these exhibition games where, look, instead of scheduling all these cupcakes, like, why not have Alabama play Mercer? Fine. If you want to play an FCS school, great, but play it in your exhibition game. You shouldn't be doing it during the regular season. Play Mercer, give them the money to come out to Tuscaloosa and whip their butt, but you have it televised and it's an actual game and it's against real competition and all of that stuff. I'm all for the televised spring game, the exhibition game that is one team versus another. I know Fran Brown talked about it at Syracuse. There's no excuse for these coaches to be scared anymore with only one transfer portal window. I guess I understand the bowl games from that perspective because I think that is a real thing. But in the same breath, there's ways that we can make college football more enjoyable all across the board. And the way the calendar sucks right now, you can fix the college football calendar, and I think that can do a world of wonders, not just for the coaching carousel and coaches leaving early, but also for the portal. It lets those players play in the playoff who, like Bo Prabula, he had to leave early. If you made the portal open after the season ended, after all the bowl games, after all the playoff games, then, hey, Bo Prabula can at least enjoy the run with Penn State and then decide what he's going to do. It's fair to the players. Yeah. It technically is more fair to the coaches as well in terms of organizing their roster. And I think college football fans in general would enjoy the sport maybe just a little bit more than what they do now because obviously, as you know, and Chris knows, I mean, it's a little bit chaotic right now.
Yeah, and the good news is they did extend the window. So if players are in the college football playoffs, they do have an extra 5-day window now for the transfer portal. So they can do that. It would be nice if they had that for the bowl games as well, although they should, because of when they're being played, they have time to still leave. But Drew Nixon, 249 miles of college football. Drew Nixon's podcast each and every week. Usually you release that on Wednesday?
The one this week came out today, and thankfully enough, the Sharon Moore news, it actually worked out perfectly, where we talked a little bit about Sharon Moore today and what Michigan could do.
It worked out perfect for you. Well, Drew, have a good show tomorrow. We'll talk to you later, my friend.
I appreciate it. For all those people who want to know, if y'all are doing Bowl Mania, you should listen to the podcast. We're picking every single bowl game this year on the podcast. Every single one. So we're going like week by week, but we picked the first 6 all the way through Wednesday of next week. Y'all should tune in next week. We'll pick the next 6 as well, leading all the way up to the national title game. So we're picking all of them on the podcast. But
who was your Cheez-It Bowl champion?
100%. Hey, Bink, as always, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you, Chris, as well, for all that you guys do for college football and the coverage. We're trying to bring. Look, the Chiefs are not making the playoffs. Y'all should watch these bowl games. You can smile a little bit more. You can smile with these bowl games. You can smile.
All right, Drew.
Bink,
take care, my friend. Cheez-It Bowl, man. He had that winner. It's Michigan and Texas. It's actually a pretty interesting game now, isn't it?
If any of the good players actually play in that.
And you're not going to have. It's going to be Biff Poggi coaching. You're going to have an interim coach coaching that one. Yeah, I doubt many draft-worthy players. I doubt Jack Andrews is in that game for Texas.
Yeah, no, he's not because he's smart.
No, and we'll see what happens. We'll react to Drew next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The holidays are here, and that means Smokehouse Barbecue. Why fuss this holiday season when Smokehouse Barbecue can cater all of your holiday events? That's what we do. Holiday parties, cater in burnt ends. Holiday parties, bring those hickory pit beans. Smokehouse Barbecue will take care of everything. You can visit them at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or place all of your orders at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue. Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/royal rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly. Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But you need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan.
Extra, read all about it. The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 913-890-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. You know, confidence is key. You hear that all the time when it comes to everything in your life. The players that we watch and all the winning that we see comes from players who are confident and are able to deliver when it matters most. What if you could be more confident where it counts? I'm talking about Blue Chew. They provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Day nights just got longer and better for everyone. Be ready when she is. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. This isn't just about performance. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's an offer for you there. You get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just cover $5 in shipping. That's it. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Then you're ready to chew it and do it.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We'll help you find last-minute gifts that don't look last-minute, even if you're still planning to propose. At Shane Company, we'll show you perfect gifts at perfect prices, in stock and ready to give. Like hand-matched diamond studs, 14-karat gold chains, or the ultimate gift, a beautiful engagement ring. We have longer store hours, so you can skip the crowds and shop when you want, or visit us at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday Touchdown Jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Alex for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets will expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment. Open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymocanschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Chris Sinocero. Big thanks to Drew Nixon joining us talking college football. Chris, let's be honest. This playoff is loaded with draft talent. You're going to get to see them in some big-time games. Like Texas Tech, you can watch some David Bailey if you want an edge rusher. Miami, you can see some Reuben Bain going at it out there. Of course, Alabama, you need an offensive lineman. You see Caden Proctor playing. I mean, it's draft picks galore, and of course, Ohio State's defense. If you want to see the great Caleb Downs play, plenty of opportunities for you there, or on offense if you're interested in Carnell Tate for this year's draft. But this is a draft showcase going on in this college football playoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talent on both sides of the ball there. There's edge rushers all around the place in the playoff. A lot of good defensive back talent. You brought up Caleb Downs. I mean, he's probably going to be a top 5 pick just kind of based on how everything's shaken out. The
Valen Everett from Georgia.
There's a lot of really good talent there. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a playoff you want to pay attention to, just like it was last year. I mean, last year there was a lot of talent all throughout.
I bet there was a ton of scouts at that Big Ten title game.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you there's tons of scouts at every one of the Ohio State games anyway.
But Ohio State, Indiana, I mean,
yeah, So it's so funny because there's so many good younger players now. Like, for instance, like Florida's best receiver was a true freshman. Like,
and Miami too with Malachi Tony.
Yeah, Malachi Tony was also. I think he won the Freshman of the Year, or some type of Freshman of the Year award. So Malachi Tony was awesome this year. But Vernell Brown III for Florida, he's awesome. I mean, there's just so many good young players out there that are coming in there and as true freshmen and being contributors, like major contributors. Last year we saw Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith come out there And as true freshmen, they were the 2 best receivers in the nation. So there's a lot of really good talent out there. And I find it really interesting how quick that turnaround is starting to happen at all positions there for the collegiate game.
It's like the combine on display when you see this. Now, I like the bowl system. I understand what it is, though. I understand all the opt-outs and transfer portal and everything. It's hard to field a team. I get that. I do like the playoffs. 12 teams, don't like 12 teams. I want to see it go to 16. To be honest with you, if you do limit the bowl games and that's the direction you want to go, because the LA Bowl, they're playing it this weekend. That'll be the final time it's played. There's 2 bowl games. The Bahama Bowl is already canceled, so they're already stopping certain bowl games. Is 24 the right number? If you limit the bowl games, would you say what would you take, Chris?
For the playoff? 24 for the playoff?
Yeah, if you limited the bowl games.
No, 16.
16 is where you stop.
No, I think once you start getting above 16, we start getting some teams that probably shouldn't be in the damn playoff. Hell, you might be able to make the case with 16 teams.
But 16 this year would have been perfect.
I'm fine with 16. That was the number I was pushing for when they first did the college football playoff.
Same.
Because I like no buys. Everyone has an opportunity to go out there and get upset in the first round.
I think had 3 buys this year, did they?
Yeah, so it's like no buys at all for like the top, because like right now the top 4 teams get buys. No buys in the playoff. Just go out there and
you're talking during the
yeah,
playoffs.
So I'm talking about during the playoff, not during the regular. I think they should get buys in the regular season,
but 3, that's too many.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just they shouldn't have any buys in the college football playoff. Just because I think, like, to me, I know there's a lot of people that don't like it, but, like, I love the fact that there's more teams in the playoff because, one, it creates more valuable regular season games. That I don't buy the BS that, it makes the regular season less important. No, it doesn't.
That's Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's like it makes it more important because more teams now are playing for an opportunity to make the playoff, which is better for college football. That's like we don't say, it makes having 7 teams in the NFL playoffs makes the regular season less important. No, it doesn't. It actually makes it more important.
It makes that Texas-Ohio State game damn important.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it way more important. So, yes, like the college football playoff has made the regular season more important because now if you get 2 losses, you're not out of it. You still have a chance. And so you have a lot to play for as you go through the year, aside from trying to improve your draft stock if you're in the talk about being drafted. So I think everyone who says that it made it less important is wrong. And the only way you would be right about it is if you just were elitist and you only cared about watching, 2 of, 6 or 7 teams fight it out for those top 2 spots for the BCS system. I think the college football playoff is great. I think that them expanding it is great because to me 4 teams didn't make any sense because there's always this debate. And
put it this way, Chris, Ohio State wouldn't have even been invited last year.
Yeah,
and they win it all.
No, they won it all, and they wouldn't have been in.
Nope.
So it's like now we know, like, okay, there's some parity there. There's some teams that wouldn't get in past years that are able to go and go far into it. That's great. Iowa State was a great story last year, with Cam Scatteraboo going out there and almost single-handedly winning them that game against Texas. It's a great story. You don't have that if not for the college football playoff being what it is. So I just think that a lot of people out there are complaining about it because it's not perfect right now. But you can't tell me that it makes the regular season less important.
Well, it's going to be complaining anytime we have it. We have at the NCAA tournament, we always have complaining. But this year, there's a ton of it. I get
literally
it.
The last
Notre Dame fans allowed us.
All throughout November, we were glued to those college football playoff rankings and talking about them incessantly because of the implications that could happen with a loss here or a loss there. So yeah, you can't miss me with it makes it less important. No, it made it way more important because now there are way more teams that actually have something to play for when we get into November.
Yeah, that whole argument about it watered down just doesn't exist. When you play tough games, which I give teams credit for playing tougher games. Notre Dame played Miami at Miami, didn't have to do that. They did it. Texas didn't have to go to Ohio State. They did it. They'll be playing this year in Austin between those 2 teams. But Colin Klein going to Kansas State, I love this decision. I've got a few texts about this, about Kansas State. Brought it up a little bit last night. I love the hiring of Colin Klein because I do think his trajectory is going on the way up. But it's a very feasible buyout for him, by the way, too. But he's 36. This will be his chance going back to his alma mater coaching. And his stops, the two places he's been offensive coordinator, the 2 years at Kansas State, the 2 years at A&M, the difference between year 1 and year 2 under Colin Klein have been noticeable. Like 41st in total offense when he first went to K-State to 23rd the next year. Scoring offense from 37th down to 10th. That's what he did at Kansas State. He goes to A&M, 49th in total offense, 46th in scoring offense, to this year, 20th in total offense, 16th in scoring. And he works great with quarterbacks. I think Kansas State is a very nice hire in Colin Klein. That was a perfect fit, I believe, for the new age player going with Colin Klein in Kansas State.
I mean, I like the hire. My thing is this. Are they going to pump any extra resources into building that team? Because if you're not, it doesn't matter. Like, it
takes money. We know that. Forget about just the coach. It's gotta have money.
My thing is this, and this is the reason why, I'm unmoved by it, because Kansas State is not spending the kind of money to be a serious player for the playoff. It's just as simple as that.
And Texas Tech proved you can.
Texas Tech has a ton of money there. That's why.
And there's a loophole right now. They're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, so Texas Tech has a ton of money. So, of course, as long as you have money, you have the opportunity to go out there and build teams like the one that Tech has this year. You have to have money for that, though. And unless they're going to go out there and be able to get like $20-30 million to spend on NIL every single year, unless they're going to get the kind of money it takes to build a facility that is going to be on par with the top SEC schools, because that stuff matters.
Like Will Howard got, over $1 million to go to Ohio State.
Yeah, like unless you are going to put serious money into that program, it doesn't matter who your coach is, unless you're just content with making bowl games, trying to get to double-digit wins, and you're happy with that. But if you're really thinking about, hey, we want to try to shoot for the playoff, you don't have the resources right now to do that. And it doesn't matter who your coach is. If you brought Nick Saban into this team right now, he's not going to get them into college football playoff contention with the resources that they have. So at the end of the day, it's like, that's cool. You got yourselves a good coach. Are you going to put the resources in to try to be serious like the other teams that are out here vying for the playoff every year? Because if you're not, it doesn't matter.
And the other thing, too, with Kellen DeBoer in Alabama, here's the one thing. Nick Saban still's in office there. He's still Nick Saban also owns 7 Mercedes-Benz dealerships. Don't tell me that doesn't come in handy with name, image, and likeness to the University of Alabama. I like these games. I'm for it. The college football playoff, I definitely can't wait for this thing to go on, Chris. I enjoy these games and what they have. I like the bowl season. I'm just going to be sad when this is over, although we kick into a full-on draft season at that point. And we've looked at the prospects. But the good news about this is you get to see the prospects in action going against very good competition that we have going forward. The other thing, too, did you see what Nike's doing? You know, Adidas made a big push this year with a lot of different uniforms. I know we look at Adidas and Texas Tech as they do that, and they do the Patrick Mahomes logo on a few jerseys they do. But they switched to Adidas, and a lot of teams, like Penn State switching to Adidas, and a lot of teams have. Nike wants to get back in this game, too. Did you see that? Do you see who their test market's going to be for their new products? LSU. That's going to be Nike's spotlight program with uniforms and everything else. Is Nike big time in with LSU?
That doesn't make any sense because LSU wears the same uniform almost every week.
Well, it's going to be a little bit tweaked with the Nike.
So what's going to happen is they're going to do something that the fans don't like, and it's going to get crapped on.
That's
on social media.
That's the way it goes.
So just keep doing the test stuff with Oregon and some of these other schools that, like, it's hard to do that with SEC schools because they all wear the same uniforms.
But here's the thing, Chris.
Week.
What LSU's doing, extending this partnership, get this, though, through 2036, but there's something with it. It's called an elite NIL program, name, image, and likeness. So it's not just the uniforms, it's the NIL money as well that goes with it.
Oh, I'm sure. I guarantee. I already know that. But it's just like, what's going to happen is people are they're going to create some uniform. The fans don't like it because LSU wears the same uniform almost every single week.
They look similar,
and they're going to crap
the patch for Nike looks pretty.
Well, then that's not a test. You're just slapping a bigger Nike.
It's a pretty big
that's what I'm saying.
Nike logo.
That's what I'm saying. You're just slapping a bigger logo on it. That's not a test program. Like, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up putting some
the
sort of...
The NIL is different. The NIL is different.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about, though, is like they're going to put out some experimental uniform, and it's not going to look good, and they're not going to be... The fans aren't going to be happy about it, and then it's going to be
Do you think Adidas passed them up this year?
No.
I like what Adidas did with the uniforms.
I thought they did fine too. I just don't think they passed up Nike. Like Nike owns sports uniforms for football right now.
Adidas is being a big time player in it.
I mean, they're trying. They're certainly trying, but Adidas has a long hill to climb because Adidas is more involved with like college basketball. Like they're a lot bigger with college basketball.
But you get big programs to switch from Nike to Adidas, like Penn State did.
Right, but there's a lot of like most of the big schools are Nike though, so it's like
they are, but
most
Adidas
of them
took some away.
They did, but it's just not. It's not nearly there. It's not enough to make a dent in what Nike's doing right now. Like when Nike and also Jordan Brand as well, which is really big with the kids. Yeah, Oklahoma, Florida also is Jordan Brand.
They even wear the Jumpman hats instead of Oklahoma.
Yeah. So like, and Florida does too. So it's like that's one of the big problems is like because they also own the Jordan brand. Like that's Adidas is never going to be able to catch up with Nike in that regard for football. For basketball, they have a chance because they've been more involved with basketball anyways. But with football, they're never going to really be able to make a dent like that.
Do you think Nike's done a good job with the NFL uniforms?
I think they've done fine
with their color rushes or their
the color rushes
ones they do.
The color rushes are they're fine. They are what they are.
The Chiefs have their chance in 27.
Yeah,
the Chiefs
I'm going to be interested to see that because I know, like, I'm pretty sure they're not. I don't think they're going to be super crazy different.
But they're very, very similar. Do you think they changed the color of the helmet for one game? Because they'll do it for one game.
I think it'll probably be either a change of the color or they'll change like the color of the decal. Maybe they'll go with it'll be a solid color and kind of see through it. So it'll be like the outline might be like yellow or black or something. I don't know. They're not going to do anything super crazy because I don't think Clark Hunt's going to. I think Clark is going to be very, very scrutinized. He's going to scrutinize any look that they're going to try to bring.
The only real look change I saw is when they wore the Dallas Texans helmets.
Yeah, and that was not very popular.
But that was a salute back to how they were founded.
Yeah,
so
but
they've done that before.
Right, but the fans weren't happy about that, so they've never worn them again. They did not like
the
that
Texas logo on the helmet.
Yeah, like they wore that in was it 09, and then the fans did not like it, and they didn't wear it again.
Yeah, Castle was the quarterback, I think, when they wore them.
Yeah, that was 09. Yeah, and they were not very popular because they were like, "Why are you wearing a helmet with the state of Texas logo on it? Like, why are you we're in Missouri? What are we doing?" Oh, I get it.
We'll see what direction that goes. Coming up next, though, the final segment will fill you in on the Thursday night game and look forward to a nice slate of games this weekend.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Get ready, Kansas City. Something big is coming. Introducing Morton Amphitheater, the brand new 16,000 capacity outdoor venue opening summer 2026 in Riverside, Missouri. From Jack Johnson and Parker McCollum to Guns N' Roses, Tears for Fears, Motley Crue, and more. The biggest names in live music are headed your way. For all show announcements and ticket info, visit MortonAmphitheater.com. And don't miss a beat. Follow at Morton Amphitheater on Facebook and Instagram and at Morton Amp KC on X. Morton Amphitheater, bringing live music to Kansas City summer 2026.
Fast break, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on the action because you can make basketball entries and win money right now in Missouri. It's super easy to play over at Underdog. You just choose your favorite players and whether or not they'll go higher or lower on stats, points, rebounds, steals, and so much more. Plus, get those entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You could also choose from ladders or streaks, pick'ems, and champions. So many different ways to play over at Underdog. Download the app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door if it isn't ready. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City come out and perform their 14-point tune-up on the garage door and 12-point tune-up on the opener. One price covers 3 garage doors and openers. The work is guaranteed. Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, trusted here since 1927. Call now to schedule your garage door tune-up, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com. ohdkc.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Hours Halftime. The Falcons, look at the Falcons, 14-13 over the Bucks. Remember all the run that Baker Mayfield got for MVP earlier in the season? Of course, everybody got hurt. Things changed, right? Imagine a quarterback going out without weapons. We've seen that before, haven't we?
This is the reason why I don't care about MVP talk in October.
It doesn't matter. Just like,
this is the reason why I'm not getting into a debate on who the MVP is before Halloween. Because it doesn't matter in October because it always changes.
Well, if you don't have it down, Drake May's getting a ton of it, right? Drake May's had
he definitely deserves to be in the running.
He's a very accurate quarterback. But let me ask you this. This season, Drake May doesn't have a single game where he's thrown for 300 yards. Last year, he played in 13 games, 0 games over 13 or over 300 yards. Have you ever seen an MVP win an MVP as a quarterback without throwing for 300 yards in a single game?
I don't think so. And this is like that's part of the reason why I wouldn't he wouldn't get my vote, because it's I've said for me it was Jonathan Taylor for the longest time.
And I was right there with you.
Yeah, because I was like, he's clearly the most, because the only reason why the Colts were in it was because of him. I'm still kind of weighing my options, but yeah, I'm not really feeling Stafford he would be my leader right now.
Stafford to be the leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I can't give it to Drake. Drake's awesome. He's played very well this year, but it's a whole team thing for the Patriots.
Jordan Love has the 3rd best odds, and it's like,
why?
What are you doing? What are we doing? Josh Allen, the 4th most odds, and then Dak Prescott behind him.
Dak should be higher.
Bo Nix.
Dak should be higher. He should be number 2 behind Stafford.
As I mentioned, he's the only quarterback with 1,000 yards against man coverage.
Yeah, he should be number 2. But to me, Stafford's been the best quarterback this year. He's been the best overall player this year. So yeah, he should get it.
I understand some of the Drake May. He is the quarterback for a team with 11 wins, and
I just think he's the new hot thing, and that's the reason why so many people are giving it to him, because he's the new hot thing.
And I'll say this: I know he didn't have 300 yards, but he's been close a couple times. But he's extremely accurate. The completion percentage is ridiculous with him.
He's good, but I mean, completion percentage is one of the most overrated stats in football. So that doesn't move me.
Yeah, because you can throw 4-yard outs.
Yeah, so I'm saying you can just throw screen passes, and as long as you complete them, you're good. It's one of the easiest to manipulate stats. If you use a completion percentage argument to try to make a quarterback seem good, to me, it just tells me that you don't have anything better to back up your argument for that quarterback. So my thing is, I just think Stafford overall, I mean, he's just playing lights out. his best receiver from the last few years has been, they let him go. So you got Puka, you got Devontae Adams, who's, had a resurgence. There's a lot of great things about what they're doing there in LA. So I got to give him the lead for MVP right now.
Do we undersell what Christian McCaffrey's doing? Because you look at that team and they've had so many injuries, quarterback included, and they just find a way to win. Now, as far as offensive MVP, Christian McCaffrey.
Player of the year? Offensive player of the year?
Excuse me, not MVP, player of the year. It's Jackson. It's JSN 1, Jahmyr Gibbs 2, Jonathan Taylor 3, Christian McCaffrey 4. Here's Christian McCaffrey. He's got 85 catches on the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's got 849 yards rushing, which means he will go over 1,000 yards rushing, and he'll go over 1,000 yards receiving. He's got 806 yards receiving. I assume he can get another 193 in the remaining games. Now, keep in mind, if he does, there's only been 3 humans get 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in an NFL season. I get it. He's got 17 games. That is a caveat there. But it's been, Eric Dickerson? No, Marshall Faulk, Roger Craig, and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And he can do it twice.
Yeah.
Like it's 3 humans and he could do it twice.
The only other person I think you can make an argument for OPOY besides him is Jonathan Taylor. And that's it.
Yeah. But 85 catches, 806 yards. You talk about the 49ers. This is the dude carrying the weight.
Also, they've had so many injuries, they've had to use him that much. They usually don't use him.
It's a
quite
team with
that
9
much.
wins using Chiefs rejects as wide receivers.
Yeah, so it's like you've had so many injuries. Like Kittle missed a bunch of games. Pearsall's missed games.
Purdy did.
Yeah, like Purdy's missed games. They haven't had Ayuk all year. So, you have all those things happening around you. It's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
And you're in a division with some damn good teams with the Seahawks and the Rams. So it's a tough sledding for the Niners. Thanks to Drew Nixon joining us talking college football playoffs. Thanks to Chris Unocero. Enjoy working with you, my friend, as we have the Character Concerns that comes out each and every Tuesday.
New podcast out right now.
That's right.
Wherever you listen to podcasts.
It'll keep getting more intense and more intense as we get closer to the NFL draft. Good night, everybody.
You're listening to